how to lose weight, save money, increase mental focus, all from a wheelchair. Holy clickbait, Batman. Tell me more. Plus, the other huge upside to this is that I'd have to shuffle out of bed in the morning into my wheelchair to go and put the kettle on. I find this to be a pretty amazing little life hack. Hello, my wonderful friends. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Fred. I'm a full-time wheelchair user, paralysed from the waist down since January 2019. And today I'm going to be telling you about my personal experience of losing weight and saving money. So there are many secondary complications from having a spinal cord injury that can be made a lot worse by being overweight. So to maintain a healthy weight is really important, even if you're able-bodied. This meat suit that we're given is a gift, and to look after it means that it will just look after you in the long run. So today I want to tell you guys about my experience with intermittent fasting, but with an important twist. I also supplement my diet with something known as a nootropic stack, which I'll tell you about in more detail very shortly. And regardless of whether you're a wheelchair user or not, this information could be really useful and interesting to you. It's given me more energy, it's helped me sleep deeper, it's boosted my creativity, and it's even helped give me like lucid dreaming experiences. So firstly, for those of you that don't know what intermittent fasting is, it's just an eating pattern that cycles between periods of fasting and eating. We all do this anyway when we sleep, and it's actually where we get the word breakfast from, breaking the fast. There are different types of fasting you can do, but I'll be talking about the type of fasting that I do, which is daily 16-hour fasts, which leaves an 8-hour eating window. It's usually referred to as the 16-8 method. Now, if a 16-hour fast sounds extreme, more simply put, it just means that I have my first meal of the day at midday, and I have my last meal of the day before 8 o'clock. Most people find the 16-8 method the simplest, easiest to stick to, and it's definitely the most popular. Now, by cutting out the first meal of the day, this will reduce your calorie intake, and it should cause weight loss over the long term, as long as you don't compensate by overeating during your 8-hour eating window. You will only lose body fat if you're in a caloric deficit. That's very important to remember. For someone like me who has to restrict their calories because half their body doesn't work, this method works very well. When it comes to weight loss, studies show that diet is more important than exercise, which is great news for those of us with limited mobility. But obviously, I make it a priority to exercise every day as well, because that has incredible benefits for your overall well-being. But it's great to know that the calorie situation is taken care of. Now, the difference between regular intermittent fasting and the technique that I use is that I supplement my diet with a nootropic stack containing caffeine, L-theanine, and MCT oil, which I find to be extremely useful for sustained energy throughout the day. So, firstly, L-theanine, which is an amino acid, has many benefits that include increased mental focus, improved sleep, relaxation, increased cognitive function, weight loss, boosted immune system function, and reduced blood pressure. And we all know the benefits of a good old cup of coffee, or even the caffeine found in tea, or even chocolate. Acting as a stimulant, it can boost mental alertness, combat mental fatigue, and generally leave you feeling less tired and more awake. But there are also negative side effects of caffeine, which can include restlessness, increased blood pressure, anxiety, and jitters. That's where the synergy of the two combined comes into play. The third magical ingredient is MCT oil. From this article entitled 7 Benefits of MCT Oil. Taking MCT oil has been shown to significantly reduce body weight and waist circumference. MCT oil can support weight loss by increasing fullness, fat loss, ketone production, and by improving your gut environment. So, with caffeine stimulation, L-theanine's calming support, and the addition of MCT oil, it can put you in the ideal mental flow state. A lot of people like to consume this in the way of bulletproof coffee, and if you haven't heard of that, it's basically black coffee, butter, and oil.
2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of MCT oil, and pretty much 2 tablespoons of coffee. And we just pour it in there with all the oil and butter.
But if you're like me,
ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Some love to romanticize the art of coffee making, the craft, the ritual. Some YouTubers love to put a bit of fancy coffee making B-roll into their videos, which I can just conveniently steal for this one. Thanks, Pete. But me, I'm a kind of no-nonsense kind of guy, so I found a handy way of getting all this in one handy little pill. Plus, the other huge upside to this is that I'd have to shuffle out of bed in the morning into my wheelchair to go and put the kettle on. I find this to be a pretty amazing little life hack. So in the morning, I usually kind of stir and wake up around about 6 a.m., kind of just naturally. And that's when I take my morning medication for my spasticity. And I also pop one of these little bad boys at the same time. It has 100 milligrams of caffeine, which is the same as like a double espresso, 250 milligrams of L-theanine, and 150 milligrams of MCT oil. Then I go back to sleep. This, my friends, is where the magic happens. What follows is a dreamy, creative, flow-like state where I wake up and seem to tap into that lovely, magical dream world where I will have ideas, remember dreams, even tap into dreams and start lucid dreaming sometimes. I'll have an idea for a song or a video or a piece of artwork. Then I'll usually grab my journal next to my bed, and if anything strikes me as noteworthy, I'll jot it down. Then after that, I'll begin my morning routine of a 10 deep breath meditation and a gratitude list, which I'll write down in my journal. This is also an awesomely powerful practice that can bring you a lot of contentment in your life. So much so, I mention it in many of my videos and even dedicated an entire video to it. And if you'd like to hear more diary entries from a much darker place in my life, then there's also a video series about that too. Then I'll get up, drink plenty of water, brush my teeth, take Luna for a walk, go stretch in my standing frame, use my little bike pedaler to loosen up my legs, have a poo and a shower, and start my day. The other benefit of consuming caffeine at 6 a.m. is that it stimulates your bowels. So if you do have a spinal cord injury like me, you'll know how handy it is when it comes time to poop. I find usually I get a little bit hungry around 10 a.m., but it usually passes. I like to drink a lot of water, sometimes have a peppermint tea. So around about midday, I like to break the fast with some poached eggs. They're my favourite thing to have, and apparently they never get boring.
Put the kettle on and make eggs every morning. We like them poached and it never gets boring.
Then I'll have a banana or an apple or both or whatever sort of fresh fruit we've got lying around. And then with my midday medication, I'll have another caffeine, L-theanine and MCT oil, and this will easily see me through to the end of the day. I might snack on fruit or nuts, but I'm usually quite mindful about what I eat. I'll occasionally have a biscuit or some chocolate, but I mainly stick to vegetables. Lou and I eat about 80% vegetarian food. We usually like to see meat as a treat. So the longer I stick to this eating schedule, the easier it becomes. And that tiny moment of hesitation between food and mouth when I pick something up and I'll be like, oh, what time is it? It'll give me a chance to reflect on whether I should be eating this. Is there a healthier option? Or what's the time? Oh, bummer, it's gone 8 o'clock, so maybe I won't eat it. And it's just really cool. I just really like it. I've also found that just looking at food can make me hungry. For example, I'll be doing something, I'll pop into the kitchen and I'll see a bunch of bananas and I'll be like, man, they look tasty. I could definitely eat one of those right now. But it's only 9:45. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to wait. But until I see them, I'm not hungry, which is also the reason why I get Lou to put all the naughty snacks like the chocolate and the biscuits on a really high shelf so I can't reach them, which is another benefit of being in a wheelchair. Out of sight, out of mind, which is also another really great tip for weight loss. Regardless of whether you're fasting or not, see food, want it, monkey mind. So the one drawback for a lot of people is after 8 p.m, the only thing I drink is water or possibly some unsweetened teas or something, but no alcohol. Alcohol will definitely break your fast. Alcohol's loaded with calories, but this is really good news because drinking alcohol before bed is really bad for you. Just take it from this guy, one of the smartest men on the planet.
It's just avoid having alcohol and avoid eating at least 2 or 3 hours before going to sleep, and your quality of sleep will improve, and your general health will improve a lot.
For sure.
It's a big deal, and I think not widely known.
Also, not drinking alcohol or fizzy drinks, sodas, energy drinks is an easy way to eliminate empty calories from your diet, which can lead to unwanted weight gain. Did you know a pint of beer contains the same amount of calories as a Mars bar? So if you do enjoy an alcoholic beverage in the evening, as many people do, you can try fasting for just 5 or 6 days a week and then just do it on those days. So for example, Lou likes to take the weekends off of fasting. I feel more comfortable sticking with it 7 days a week. In fact, recently I've increased my fasting time up to 17 hours, having my last meal at 7 p.m. I've just found that it works a little bit better for me. My appetite is naturally decreased by quite a lot, and my energy levels are very, very high. I also take days off caffeine, which I think it's important to add because it's possible to build up a tolerance. And once a week, I like to wash the receptors, I believe it's called. And usually on a Sunday, I'll take a break, spend some extra time in bed, have a cuddle with Lou, and maybe have a bit of a lazy day. And quite often I will miss out my midday caffeine L-theanine and just go for an afternoon nap, which honestly I find can be equally as effective for boosting energy levels. The other thing I like to do is when I make food, I like to batch make things, so I can save time by like reheating them later in the week. If I make a quiche, for example, now Lou is away, that's like 4 different meals with a nice healthy salad next to it. Great. Oh, Fred, what about saving money? Yes, the saving money part. Okay, here we go. Well, by cutting out the first meal of the day, you'll save a little bit of money on groceries, breakfast cereal, etc., and coffee. And the caffeine L-theanine pills are €22 for 90, which works out only 23 cents every cup of coffee. And if you're familiar with Graham Stephan and his 20 cents coffee idea, then this could save you loads in the long run. And with clever investing, could make you a lot of money.
So for everyone watching, will a coffee make you poor? And the answer is, it's debatable. On the one hand, if you just invested that $5 of coffee every single day over the next 45 years and you got a 7% return adjusted for inflation, after that time period, you would have nearly $557,000 left over at your disposal.
Assuming you have 45 years left of your life and civilization doesn't break down because of some like major catastrophe, but if it does, at least you'll perish slender. Plus, they say time is money, and with all that extra time you'll have without faffing around with breakfast and making coffee, and your boosted creativity, you could come up with $1 million idea in the extra time. Yes, I know a lot of you enjoy the ritual of making and enjoying a delicious cup of coffee, and that's cool. If you do, enjoy it. For me, the best thing about a cup of coffee is dunking a biscuit into it, so it's a double whammy easy choice for me. So, the most important point you should take away from all of this is this. The best way to lose body fat is the one that works for you. You may think that skipping meals and caffeine pills doesn't sound too healthy, and that's fine.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
I'm just saying it works for me. Fasting has been a process through human evolution. Ancient hunter-gatherers didn't have supermarkets, refrigerators, or food available all year round. Sometimes they couldn't find anything to eat. As a result, human beings evolved to function for long periods of time without anything to eat. In fact, fasting from time to time is more natural than eating 3 or 4 times a day. It's all supported by peer-reviewed science, so I will leave all the links in the description below, and I actively encourage you to do your own research into this before making any extreme changes to your diet. And remember, I'm just a dude on YouTube. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, so ask away if you wish. Other dietary supplements I take are turmeric, magnesium, lion's mane mushrooms, fish oil with omega-3. I supplement CBD as well for my spasms, and a little bit of THC as well, which is good for spasms and many other things like grumpy moods. I also microdose every 4th day, and if you want to know more about that, then let me know and I might make a video about that. So I hope this video has been informative and helpful, and as always guys, love yourself and each other. Hey guys, Editing Fred here. Just finished up with this video, and I just felt it needed a little bit of a summary to clarify some points. So just to summarize, I eat 2 meals a day rather than 3. So by cutting out my breakfast, say my breakfast was 500 calories, that's saving 5,000 calories every 10 days, which can have a cumulative effect, especially for me with limited mobility. Not to mention like mid-morning snacks, late night snacks, and empty calories from unhealthy beverages. So with that said, I think, also, I bloody hate doing this. I always forget to do this, but in part because I don't like doing it. But if you found value in this video, I've got some other videos on my channel. If you're new to this channel, feel free to check them out. And if you, especially if you're a wheelchair user or you're part of the disability community, I feel like some of my content could be really helpful. If you know anybody that might benefit from these videos, feel free to share it with them. And if you do like my videos, then subscribe to my channel. And if you hit the little bell icon, then you'll get notified every time I upload a video, which is every week. And if you like my beard and my face and my voice, but more importantly, guys, if you like my content, then subscribe to my channel, and then you won't miss out every time I upload a video. Okay, that wasn't so hard. I did it. Okay, cool. With that said, have a bloody good day. Have a good scroll. I hope you find some other content that tickles your fancy. And yeah, have a great day, guys. Take care.